doing a mat class today. We're going to be doing some core movements. These are based in some Pilates moves, and we're going to just kind of stay down low today. So we're not going to get up and down and move around a lot. And these are some of my favorite classes. So what I want you to do is let's just sit here in a nice, comfortable cross-leg position. My ankles are not crossed. They're spread out just a teeny bit, but they're so that they're not crossing. My feet aren't crossing. I'm sitting up nice and tall. I'm engaging the core, lifting the ribs off of those hip bones. I'm going to pull those shoulders up and down, slide the shoulder blades down the spine, elongate the neck, feel like someone's coming behind me and lifting my head toward the ceiling, and my shoulders are pushing down, and now I'm sitting tall, but I'm relaxed. I want you to breathe in, do some belly breaths. Feel the ribs expand as the belly relaxes, and then exhale, pull the belly in, the ribs come back down, and breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. A few more times. By sitting up tall, you give your diaphragm and your lungs the ability to fully expand, to allow all that good air to come in, and then push all that old air out. Focus on the rib cage. Feel it expand as you inhale. The diaphragm is pushing down, allowing the lungs to fill, and then we blow it out. Ribs come back in, diaphragm lifts, pushes the air out again. Now place your hands down on the mat by your side. I want you to push yourself up a little bit. There we go. Feel how that helps lift the ribs. This tailbone, your sit bones are still on the floor. They're not quite as weighted, but they're still making contact. Now, I want our neck is long, our shoulders are down, pushing through those arms. Now, try to keep that elongated spine position and release and come back. There we go. Just further elongating the spine, getting our body into the position it needs to be in, being aware of our posture. Chin chuck, chin tuck, ear over shoulders, shoulders over hips, breathing. Very nice. Now, I want you to reach behind you and just lean back a little bit. Now I want you to open up your chest, pull those shoulders back, look up just a little bit, don't strain the neck, just kind of look up toward maybe where the ceiling meets the wall. There we go. Keep breathing, opening up the chest. Very nice. Relax the legs, relax the hips, and come back. Excellent. Come back to our nice, tall, seated position. Stretch out the right arm, and let's just bring it up. Feel a good little stretch. I'm going to look up with my hand, and now I'm going to follow it as it reaches over just a little bit and releases. Let's do that again. Reach it up. Good stretch, and then look up at the hands and release. Other side. Lift it up and reach over. Again, inhale, exhale. Fantastic. Okay, well, let's move on. We're going to turn sideways on our mat, and we're going to do a seated pelvic tilt. So my feet, they can be together, just slightly apart. Sit tall. That's why we practice that. Shoulders down, shoulder blades sliding down the spine, long neck, and our arms are just going to be right out in front. If you find that very uncomfortable, you can still have your hands right here. And let's just start with this modification. We're going to roll back just a little bit. And as we do that, as we come back here, we're pulling the belly in. You're zipping up your ribs. I want you to do a pelvic tilt, squeeze your glutes, and tilt the pelvis under. See my back go from here to there, right in here. Okay? Pelvic tilt, exhale. Inhale up. And here, we're opening up our chest. Nice straight spine, sitting tall like we practiced. Full inhale. Now exhale. Pull the belly in. Squeeze the glutes a little bit. Contract the pelvic girdle. Pelvic tilt. Exhale. And then inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So for those of you that are wanting just a little bit more advanced, you're comfortable with releasing the arms. Inhaling as we come up. Exhale. Zip. Pelvic tilt. Those ribs are pulling in, like we're zipping up the pants, pulling everything in, and then inhale. Exhale. Pelvic tilt. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one coming up. And come back to this nice tall seated position. Okay. Modification. Reach one arm out in front, shoulders down. The left hand is right just below the knee. And we're just going to open the chest as you reach back. And then bring it in front. Pelvic tilt. Exhale. That's it, the little pelvic tilt. And just turn the body as much as you feel comfortable. Reach it back and then bring it up. If you want, we can open without holding on. Let's do a few of these. There we go. I'm opening. I'm breathing. Let's do one more. Let's go to the other side. Again, you can hold on to the knee if you want, or your arms can be out in front. Now you can see what my back is doing. You can see that my shoulder blade is rotating in toward the middle of the back, the spine, midline. I'm opening up the chest, looking, little twist of the body and the upper torso. What's nice about this is the hips don't twist. So it's truly an upper body, torso, trunk rotation. Let's do one more. Last time. And come up. And you also feel it right in here. Excellent. Sit nice and tall. Fantastic. Now we're just going to roll down, and you can put your hands behind you and lower yourself very slowly, or you can hold behind your legs. Just come down to a bent knee position. My feet are about 6 to 8 inches apart. I'm going to tuck my shoulder blades under. See how that opened up my chest? I'm going to place my hands down by my side, and I'm going to do a pelvic tilt. So keep your hands by your side, but I want you to be able to see me. So there's really no space in here when I do my pelvic tilt. I'm tilting the pelvic girdle up slightly like this. Like you put your hands right here, those fingers are going to be pointing upwards. And then as I go back to my neutral position, just the natural curve of the spine, your hands are flat. Pelvic tilt, little squeeze in the glutes. Those fingers are tilted up slightly, and there's no space underneath the low back. Here, there's just a little bit of gap. You can't see it. There's a shadow. Pelvic tilt. And release. This is a great little stretch for the low back. Inhale. Exhale as we go into the pelvic tilt, squeezing the glutes, just like we were doing when we were sitting up. Exhale. Inhale.
You should feel those ribs kind of come in. The pelvic girdle is kind of zipping in. You're zipping it up, tightening all through here, squeezing the glutes a little bit, flattening out the curve. One more time. Very subtle movement, very powerful movement. And release. Excellent. Let's go ahead and place our hands right here, following the bikini line right here. Your fingers are kind of making like a little diamond. There you go. And so, again, in this neutral spine, my hands are flat. When I go through the pelvic tilt, the fingers tip up. When I go the opposite direction and I do an anterior tilt, my fingers are pointing down. And see the arch? There we go. So we're doing this so that we can get full range of motion. That's it. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Nice little arch. Exhaling into the pelvic tilt, flattening out the back. So most time when we talk of a pelvic tilt, we're talking about this posterior tilt and flattening of the back. That's it. Back to neutral. So now we can kind of go side to side. We can lift our right hip and go back down. Lift the left hip and go back down. And that kind of stretches out the pelvic girdle in a whole nother way. It feels nice. So we're just kind of lifting up one sit bone and then placing it down. Lift up the left sit bone and place it down. I have tightness in my right low back. And so when I lift my left hip bone up, I really feel that because it's like traction. It's like stretching it out because my right hip is down and my left hip is lifting, and I can really feel that little stretch. And that's something that I work on. Okay? So let's come back to that neutral. So now we're going to do pelvic circles. So we're going to go through all four of those motions. I'm going to put my hands out to the side so you can see me. So let's go through that pelvic tilt, flattening out the back. And then now I'm going to lift up my right hip and see how I kind of circling toward the left side. And then I'm going to push through the anterior pelvic tilt, kind of getting that arch. Then I'm going to lift up my left hip, and my right hip drops into the floor a little bit. And then I'm going to go back through my pelvic tilt. And then left hip is dropping, right hip is lifting, rotating to the front, left hip lifting, right hip dropping, back to my pelvic tilt. And then I just try not to overthink it, and I get a nice little circle movement of the pelvic girdle. There we go. I had an instructor tell us that this is like a salad bowl, and you're dressing the salad bowl. You put your dressing in there, and you're lining, and you're just rotating this big salad bowl around without spilling anything, okay? Just kind of coating the inside right up to the edges. Doesn't that feel nice? So now, again, stopping that pelvic tilt, and my back is flat, my pelvis is tipped up, and I'm going to go the other way. So this takes a little bit to work on. You're learning to control your body, isolate certain parts of the body, while the rest of the body is not really moving. It's stabilized. And this just feels really nice. What a great way to loosen up the low back, the hips. That gets so tight from sitting, when we're driving, when we're sitting at our desk, when we're watching TV. We get so tight in here. And like I said, sometimes I do better when I think about it, go through it very slowly, and then I don't really over-focus it and just let the body move. Fantastic. Go one more time and settle back into our lying on our back, knees bent position, neutral spine. All righty. So we're going to continue. We're going to bring our feet just a little closer, and you want them a comfortable distance from your bottom, okay? Whatever is comfortable for you. We're going to be doing some bridges. So from here, we're going to go through that pelvic tilt. We're going to flatten out the back, and we're going to start lifting from the low end, from the tailbone, rolling up, lifting one vertebra at a time. And lift, push through the heels, and try to get a nice straight line from the knees to your shoulders. Now from here, I like to make sure my shoulder blades are tucked under, my chest is nice and open, and then I'm going to roll it back down one vertebra at a time. Natural spine curve and roll through the pelvic tilt, press the heels, lift up, and lower back down. I'm looking at the ceiling and roll back down. I'm going to do this about 4 more times, so just look at the ceiling, listen to my cues. Press through the hips, opening up, and lower back down. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. So we're working the back side of our body. We're working those glutes. We're working the hamstrings. You can feel that, I hope. Let's do it one more time. And we're going to hold up here. We're going to squeeze our knees together. We're going to open, and then we're going to roll back down. We're going to do that 4 times. Roll it up, squeeze the knees, open, and lower back down. Roll it up, squeeze your knees, and lower back down. Last one. Roll it up, squeeze the knees, keep it right here. Now we're going to lower, but we're going to lower to the right hip. Touch the right hip down, press it back up. Touch the left hip down, press it back up. Right hip, and press through those heels. Left hip, press through those heels. Right hip, press through those heels. Left hip. Great. Last set. Right side. Keep breathing. Left side. Keep breathing. Squeeze those knees together. Open and roll back down. Bring one knee into your chest. Bring the other knee into your chest. Stretch it out. What a great series. Deep breath. Fantastic. And lower down. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to try something else. We're going to have our feet about 6 inches apart, and we're going to place our hands down on the mat, and we're going to roll back up into our bridge. I want to show you how you can really engage your hamstrings, and something for you to think about when you do bridges. This is a little bit more advanced. We're going to roll it up. Nice bridge. Tuck those shoulder blades under so we get full extension. Now what I want you to do is imagine your heels pulling. Pull your heels in towards your fingertips. And you're going to get a nice tightness in the hamstrings. And then roll it back down. Bring the knee up. Bring the knee up and stretch out those hamstrings. So as you're doing bridges, we want to fully engage the hamstring. Let's try that again. Roll it up into a bridge. Pull those heels towards your fingertips. They're not moving, but we're really engaging those hamstrings, okay? Breathe, pull them in. Fantastic. And lower, roll it back down. Knee up, stretching it out. So we're stretching as we go. Lower back down. Now, feet a little further away from you and a little wider. Hands by your side. Now we're going to work the side of the body, the obliques a little bit. So we're going to not leave the mat, but we're going to reach that hand toward the heel. Right hand toward the right heel. And yes, my upper body shifted, but it shifted vertically. And I came back up. So my head and my shoulders are actually tilting a little bit, like I was doing a side bend, but I'm doing it on the mat. And I'm reaching for the heel. So Let's try that. Reach to the right and back to the center. Reach to the left and back to the center. Reach for the right and back to the center. Reach for the left and back to the center. Keep going. And come back. Very nice. So you can feel these muscles contracting as you're reaching, okay? That's what we wanted. Starting to activate those muscles of the side. Everything's connected. Okay, so right here, we're going to now do some snow angels. We're going to get a little bit of upper body flexibility. We're going to turn our palms up to the ceiling. Make sure those shoulder blades are tucked under. And keep your knees bent so we keep a nice neutral spine. And we are going to just reach our arms out to the side, but try to keep your fingernails, the tips of the fingernails, on the floor, making contact if you can. And then we're going to take them over top. And I don't want you to arch. I don't want your ribs coming up. I want the middle of the back, upper back, still making nice contact on the floor. And then we're going to reach it out and bring it overhead and bring them back down by our side. Flip the palms up, open up the chest, reach it out, reach it overhead without lifting the ribs, without arching the upper body. Reach it out overhead and then bring it back. Flip it over 2 more times. Snow angel, working our flexibility of the shoulders. Very nice. Last time, flip it over, reach it out, stretch overhead, bring it back to the starting place. Now, we're going to reverse. Reach up, reach over. Now, don't pull the shoulders in. We're going to retract, and then we're going to make the snow angel, okay? Flip them over, reach it up, stretch it overhead, and then pull in the shoulders, and then we're going to bring it right back down. Flip those palms over. Reach it up. That's it. We're reaching it out, pulling them in. That's actually shoulder depression. And we're bringing it right back down to our side. Last time, reach it up and over. Pull those shoulders in and slide back down. Okay, so that was a good range of motion activity. Very important. Doesn't feel like you're doing much, but truly, that's very, very, very important. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to bring one knee into the chest. We're stretching out that hamstring again, and we're going to straighten out the opposite leg. So we're also getting a stretch in the front of the hip of that straight leg. Flex both feet. Reach that heel away from you as you bend and pull the leg in towards your chest of the right side. Left leg is straight. Fantastic. Good stretch. From here, I'm going to release the hands. I'm going to straighten out that leg, and I'm going to feel a nice stretch in my hamstring. And we're going to just do some leg circles on the ceiling. Single leg. You can put your hands out for balance if you need that. And we're just making a small little circle on the ceiling, maybe the size of a plate. And you can feel your quadriceps are activating. The core is activated to keep you from rocking side to side. You want both of your hip bones flat on the floor. Don't rock side to side. And let's go the other direction. So just a very, very small circle. You don't want to make large circles until you can master this one. So we're not rocking side to side. Our core is tight. Push that heel into the ceiling. Flex that foot. Extend that leg away. And then do your little circles. Great. Flex. Press away from the body. Bring it in. And let's switch sides. Bring both knees in. Extend the right leg. Feel that good stretch. That right heel is reaching away from the body, feeling a good stretch in the front of your right thigh. We are pulling our left knee into the body, flexing the right foot for a modification. You can reach behind the knee and not crank down on your knee joint. Whatever feels best for you. Now we're going to straighten out that leg, and we're going to try to get the leg straight and up toward the ceiling. If you're out here, that's okay. So feel that good stretch. Again, your arms can be out to the side to help with your stability. Strong core. Keep those hip bones flat on the mat, and we're just moving the leg. There we go. This is hip rotation. Try to keep your extended bottom leg, toe up to the ceiling as well. That's it. Small little circle. Breathing. Let's go the other direction. That's it. Very nice. Stretch it out. Bring that knee in. And stretch it out to meet the right leg. Okay. So what we're going to do here is I want us to reach our arms up like we did. Bring them overhead. And we're not pulling in the shoulders. We're keeping them reached out. They're elevated. We're going to lift our right leg and reach it out further away from the body and lower it down. Lift the left leg. Reach it out further. Feel a spine stretch. Lift out the right leg again. Lower it down. Reach those arms out like you're on the rack. Someone's pulling you. Your ankle, someone's pulling your wrists from opposite directions and just really stretching out the body. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your shoulders down, arms over top. And now relax. Fantastic. Tuck those shoulder blades under again. Open up that chest. Okay, so now just point your toes in a comfortable position, okay? Knees are facing up. Our legs are not turned out. The whole front side of the body, the knees are facing the ceiling. So now we're going to take the right leg, and we're going to rotate the knee outwardly toward the side, external rotation of the hip a little bit. And then we're going to bend the knee, draw the toe up the calf, up the shin, toward the knee, and our knee is dropped open to the side. Then we're going to use our leg muscles, our inner thighs, our adductors, bring the knee to the ceiling, and then straighten it back out. Turn out the foot, draw the foot up, bending the knee, lift the knee, and then straighten it back down. Rotate, repeat, draw it up. Lift the knee, extend. One more time, turn it out. Draw the foot up, bring that knee up, and straighten it out. Left side, let that knee rotate outwardly. Draw the toe up the low leg. Bring that knee up to the ceiling, and straighten it back out. So both knees are facing the ceiling. Turn out the left. Draw that toe up, lift the knee, and stretch it back out. Turn out the foot. Draw the foot toe up, bring up the knee, straighten it out. Last time, externally rotate, bend that knee, lift the knee, straighten it back out. Flex the feet. Very nice. Excellent. So that just kind of, again, opens up the hips, working on rotation. Very nice. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use our stretch band. I have mine handy. Grab yours. And we're going to build on what we just did. So we're going to put the band around the arch of the foot. We're going to straighten out the left leg, right leg is up. And from this position, we're going to kind of do some active stretching as well as some strengthening of the back side of the body. So we're pushing that heel away from the body, pressing against the band, lowering to the floor. That activates the back side of the body, back side of the leg. Reach it out. Very good. And then slowly lift it up. So we're not lifting the leg back up, but there is some a little assistance given. So you're not fully lifting the weight of your leg, but you're doing something for the front of the leg, the quadriceps, your hip flexors. But really the emphasis is on pressing away from the body, resisting the band, press away from the body. Good. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Great. Now we're going to go take it to a leg circle. We're going to press away from the body. We're going to take that leg out to the side, and we're going to pull it back in. Lift it up, press it down, swing it out to the side, and pull it back in. Lift it up, press it down, take it out to the side, bring it back in. Last one. Out and in. Now we're going to lift it up and we're going to take it out to the side, but as far as we can, and then we're going to lift it up and repeat. Press it down, swing it out to the side, controlled, and lift it up. So we're kind of making maybe, I don't know how much of a circle, not a full circle, maybe a quarter of a circle, 1 quadrant of a sphere. You can imagine that. There we go. So we're doing this with assistance from the band so that we can do it with proper alignment and not overly straining until we're strong enough to do this without a band. Let's stop right here. Straighten out that leg. Let's drop it out to the side now. Swing it back around, toe up to the ceiling, and go with our lift. Okay? So some of this is strengthening. Some of this is range of motion. Both are benefiting. And notice how the rest of the body is not moving. Okay? When we're working on the mat like this, it really gives us a nice stable position so that we can just focus and activate the specific muscles that we're trying to, whether it's stretching, range of motion, or strengthening with the band resistance. Very nice. Out to the side, bring it around, and stop right here. Great. Let's change sides. Okay, so we're not ready for the band. We need to start. Let's see. Did we do the hip circles? I think we did. So we are ready for the bands. Other side. There we go. Now remember where we're at. So a little bit of resistance. That leg is straight up. My bottom, I stretch that leg, is again straight up, facing the ceiling. We're just going to press it down and lift it up. And press it down and lift it up. Press it down and lift it up. Press it down and lift it up. Now, if you'll notice, you'll feel it stretch the hamstring. You can bring it back just a teeny bit more each time. So we're doing active stretching. It's not bouncing, it's not fast, it's very slow, it's assisted. We're just feeling a very mild stretch. Very nice. One more time. Great. Now let's press it down and then keep those knees toward the ceiling, out to the side, and pull it back in. Lift it up. Press it down, sweep to the side, bring it in, and lift it up. My spine is in a neutral position. Okay? It's not overly arched. My ribs are staying flat. They're not arching. Really, the only movement is in the legs. Both of my hip bones are flat on the back. I'm not rocking side to side. The body's not rocking side to side. All righty, we're going to now press it down and take it all the way out to the side and lift it up and repeat. Little guidance and help from the stretch band until we are strong enough to do this without a stretch band. Keep both hip bones. Don't let this right hip lift up, okay? Really fight. Use the leg muscles, not body position, bad body position to complete the move. Lift it up. Great. Let's reverse. Stop right up top here. Take it out to the side, swing it around, and lift it up. Out to the side, swing it around, and lift it up. Out to the side, swing it around, lift it up. Out to the side, swing it around, lift it up. Very nice. Last one. Fantastic. And release the band. All right, so let's work on our core a little bit more, the abdominals. Let's go up into our tabletop position. And you can see that my knees are bent 90 degrees. My ankles are bent 90 degrees. And I have a nice little 90-degree bend in my thighs to my abdomen. Okay? So in this position, press your back flat, little pelvic tilt, pull, tighten up the belly, tighten up the whole girdle right here. Tightening up that girdle. Keep those knees in. Look at the mirror. Make sure you're holding this position. Fantastic. Squeeze your ankles and knees together and extend your right leg. Really push the low back flat into the ground as you're reaching that right heel up toward the ceiling. Feel the further tightening. There we go. And back to the tabletop. Left leg. There we go. And it's great to have a mirror because you make little adjustments. I'm always constantly making those little adjustments. Because it's really easy to fall out of alignment, to be exactly. So press that pelvic tilt a little bit more. Press that right heel toward the ceiling. Knees are pressing together. Can you feel this tightness? You should. And back to that tabletop. Squeeze those knees. Reach that heel. Pull that belly and flatten out that spine. Pelvic tilt. Great. Hold that position. Fantastic. Drop your right leg, drop your left leg, and relax. Don't hold your breath during that. I know there's a lot of moving parts there, and yet the only moving part, a lot of contracting parts, how about that? And yet the only moving part was the lower leg, but we were really firing up the core. That's what this is all about. Okay, something similar. Let's go back into our tabletop. Pelvic tilt, pull the belly in, squeeze the knees, 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree. Tap your right heel, bring it up. Tap your left heel, bring it up. Keep that back flat, pelvic tilt, pull the belly button in, look at the ceiling. Once you get the movement, look back toward the ceiling so you're not straining your neck. Keeping the heel touching and the feet flex. Breathing. Hold it right here. Bring your knees into the chest. Very nice. Excellent. So let's go back to that tabletop. We're going to extend one leg up to the ceiling. We're going to extend the other leg up to the ceiling, pulling the belly in, pelvic tilt, flattening out the back. That's really the cue that I feel helps get the core engaged. There we go, legs straight up. And so we're going to point those toes, turn those knees out, externally rotating the hips a little bit, have your heels touch, but your toes are out, okay? So making a little V, arms out to the side. And remember those leg circles we did? Now we're doing them with both legs. And you're feeling just a teeny bit of rocking from hip bone to hip bone on the back. That's okay, but no more. I don't want the hip coming off the floor. Okay, we're just making a little circle. Feeling it's very intense right in here in the abdominals. Keep breathing. This is a super tiny little circle. And let's go the other direction. Anytime you need to rest, go back down to that knees into the chest position and rest. One more. And bring those knees in and hug your knees. Fantastic. Doing great. From here, I want us to extend one leg and pull the other knee into the chest. If you can leave your head back or just lift the head and back of the shoulders up off the ground, not straining, and then we're just going to change. And change. You have just a teeny little pulse. Inhale as you're changing, and two little puffs as you change, and little pulse, pulse. Exhale, 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 exhale. Look. If your head is tired, your neck is straining, you can place your head flat on the ground. Two more each side. Last set. Bring those knees in and relax. Awesome. Okay, roll yourself up from here. You can use your hands or you can rock up. We are going to finish our workout with just a few more little things. We're going to scooch up to the front of our mat. We're going to pull ourselves up real tall. We're looking forward and lift the ribs off the hip bones. And we're just going to roll down. And then we're just going to roll back up. And you can put your hands down. Just kind of push yourself back up. Fantastic. Right here, we're going to roll down. And you can use your hands and elbows and push yourself back up. Now, if you want, we can roll down without using our hands. Keep your chin tucked just a little bit. Roll down. Our feet come up. And then we're going to roll back up. You can use your hands right here, just doing a little bit of a nice little spinal roll. Keep the chin in, roll back. You can use your elbows and your hands and push back up. You can lower yourself down slowly and roll back up. And if this is not comfortable, just keep your knees into your chest on your back. That's it. Working at your own level. And we're going to stay right here. Let's extend one leg out and the other leg. Modification, sitting up tall. Just straighten out the leg and bring it back up. Straighten out the leg and bring it back up. So choose which one you want to try. Lifting one leg. We're just touching the floor, straightening out one leg. But now what we're working is trying to keep a really lengthened spine and engaging while we're not holding on, okay? If you need to, you can put your hands back here and slowly try to not hold on and pull quite so much until you can relax and remove the hands. There we go. We're sitting up tall, really engaging the core, finishing strong.
And for those of you that want to do a V, we can roll back just a little bit, bring one leg up, bring the other leg up, palms open, open the chest and breathe. And bring them in. And down. Oh, that felt nice. Walk those fingers forward, cross legs, and pull it back up. Shoulders back, chest open, other side. Roll it down. Pull it up. I want us to finish on our belly. There we go. My hair's all messed up. That's all right. We've been working hard. Forehead down. Shoulder blades just relaxing, open. Deep breath. Press up a little bit. Sweep those elbows in and stretching your abdominals. Feet are to the outside edge of the mat and just looking straight ahead. You can press down a little bit, keep your shoulders down, and just breathe freely. This is more advanced. And lower those elbows back down. You feel a lot less tension in the spine. Elbows sweep back out, lower back down. Reach your left arm and reach back for your right foot with your right hand. Great quadricep stretch. Stretching the front of the hips, your hip flexors as well. They were fired up. A lot of stabilizing muscles today. We want to stretch them. And release, other side. And release. Walk your fingers forward. Lift your right leg and reach it back. Lift the left leg and reach it back. Lift the right leg again. Walk your fingers forward. Forehead down on the mat. Feel a good traction. Slide those hands into the chest. Keep the knees on the ground. Tight belly. Sit back into a nice child pose. Walk your fingers to the left side. Sit back on the right heel. This is a good side stretch into the low back and right hip. And then bring it across to the other side. Bring it back to the center. Pull it up. Pull those hands in. And let's finish right here. All right, guys. Great workout. Thank you for joining me.